My name is Grant Adlam, and I am the publisher, the founder, the CEO, whatever you want me to do, I am of KZN Top Business. And I've been doing this for a quarter of a century now, so it's what I do. Little bit of background: born in Maritzburg, proudly Maritzburg, supported Maritzburg Football Club, and I still to this day support Maritzburg Football Club, the city of choice as it's called these days. We've never really won anything, but carry on supporting them. Went to St. Charles College up until standard, actual fact, class 1, class 2. And then just by default, we moved to Joburg. My dad was in journalism, worked at the Witness, moved to Johannesburg, moved to the Star newspaper where he was there for 48 years. I think it was a hell of a long time. And so journalism and the print and all that was always in the blood. And life evolved, went off to the army. When I left school, didn't know what to do. I didn't have a clue. The world was big and I had no idea what was out there. So in the army, I took up drawing. I was always pretty good at drawing, and I decided that I was going to become a commercial artist. Easy money, sit, draw, bond, easy to do. In my 7 days in the army, I came back, went to the Star newspaper. I went to Ray Apple, who was the advertisement manager at the Star newspaper. I said, I want to become this commercial artist. Because remember, there was no computers in those days. We drew everything and stenciled everything. And I spent the 7 days doing a little bit of art there, and very easy. They said, yep, you can do it, you got the job. So fantastic. When I came out of the army, I went to the Star. I spent 2 weeks, approximately, doing what I had to do, drawing ads, doing copy. Oh, it was fantastic. Until I went across the road to the Elizabeth Hotel, where everybody went in those days, had a chat to a chap by the name of Helder Travaris, and Helder explained to me how much money he was making selling advertising. And I said, my word, so simple. I want to do your job. I actually wanted his money because he was getting a lot more than I was getting paid. Went to Mr. Apple. I said, Mr. Apple, I want to do what Helder does. And coincidentally, at that end of that month, somebody was called up to do an army camp, and I filled their space. And that was I never looked back again. From that day on, I was a spaceman. I was creating, selling space. But those couple of weeks that I spent in the art department gave me an incredible insight into what to do. So instead of just selling space, I started creating features. I started creating publications within the Star newspaper, and it was very easy for me. So I sort of stuck it out, I think, for 18 months. And then I went out, branched out on my own in the independent publishing world, and have been doing that to this day. I am still creating marketing space for people and using technology. So that's how I evolved to what I am today. Coincidentally, what happened wasn't a coincidence. I got a phone call from a friend of mine who was sitting in London and said, hey, Grant, you know everybody in KZN, KwaZulu-Natal. Who do we go to find out how to invest? And he had some serious investors sitting around a board table, and I said, not a problem. I phoned Durban, and I spoke to a gentleman by the name of Dana Moore, who was running the marketing wing for the KwaZulu-Natal Marketing Initiative. And I said to Dana, send me through what you've got urgently. And he faxed through photostats of old stats. They were literally 5 years old. I phoned Dana back and I said, Dana, this is embarrassing for me to send to London, never mind you as the official marketing wing for the province. What is the problem? So very quickly he explained to me that there was no money, nothing they could do to market the province. They had a whole cupboard full of these out-of-date publications, and when they were finished, they might print more. And I said to him, you know what? I've got an incredible opportunity. This is now 1998. Since 92, I've been evolving and doing a lot of work on the internet I actually was at the CSIR learning everything I could get to know about the internet because I believed that was the future. And so I had this incredible knowledge about the internet and nobody was grasping it. So I said to Dana, let's do this. Let's launch an internet site for the province, coupled with a publication, and let's be ahead of the curve. I came to Maritzburg, presented it to the Premier and a whole lot of people at the showgrounds in Maritzburg. I don't think anybody in that room got the idea. But I just said, gentlemen, we're going to do this. And if everybody backs me, we will have a publication and a marketing initiative that will stand the test of time because we're way ahead of it. And to this day, we are still way ahead of the curve, just using technology, the internet to market the province successfully. And yeah, that's what we do. And that's how I got to where I am today. Interesting question, because the why I do what I do is because I just love to stimulate people, to stimulate business, to stimulate people to do better with themselves. So by what we do in promoting success stories, telling the story, introducing, networking, it's such an incredible thing. So the why I do is to make people better themselves, to make businesses better themselves. By identifying the success of what they do, sometimes you actually don't know how successful you are until somebody tells you. And that's what my job is. And our job as a publishing firm, as a marketing firm for the province, is to market the success stories of the province to ourselves, to the rest of the province, to South Africa and the world. And that's what we do well. That is my why, and that is my purpose, to spread good news about KZN and why you should be investing here. The proudest accomplishment, I've launched hundreds of magazines, hundreds of concepts, but I think the proudest thing is exactly what I'm doing now, is that I came to KwaZulu-Natal to launch a KZN Top Business publication a quarter of a century ago. It's still going, it stood the test of time. We used technology in those days, we were ahead of the curve, and we're still ahead of the curve because we're using technology to communicate to the rest of the world how great we are, how great the people are here, how great the leaders we have here. So we've survived everything to get where it is. So that's my proudest thing I've ever done. And we're still going to carry on doing it. People ask me, Grant, when are you going to retire? Never going to retire because I just love what I do. The best advice is a strange one because I've always been so self-driven that I kind of like give myself advice, and sometimes it's bad advice. But everybody out there always says to me, Grant, just carry on doing what you're doing. So I think the best advice is universal. It's just that energy that comes back from what I do. And when people say what I do and how it helped them get to where they are, that's the advice that I go on, that universal advice that says, just keep doing what you're doing. And that's what I'm doing. So it's a crazy thing, but nobody's ever said anything that has said, boom, that's what I should be doing. But that's what I do. I think the biggest challenge has got to be, like everybody says, and most people say in all the interviews I do, it's COVID. How did we get through it? It was damn hard. It set us back, and some of us, we sit down, leaders together, and we say, how long is it going to take to get back to where we were? I don't think we ever will, but we move on. But the thing is that most publishers during COVID didn't come through. We came through with flying colors, and we've never been busier. So that to me was the biggest challenge, but we overcame it. So whenever there's a challenge, there's an opportunity. So you've got to remember that. So we saw this as an opportunity. We evolved into other things. We do the Top Business Awards. We do the KZN Top Business Woman. We do the KZN Family Business. All these incredible eventing things around publishing. People might say that we had evolved into an eventing company before this because the Top Business Awards have been going for 18 years now. But COVID, eventing was closed down. Think about it. We then started streaming the awards. We flipped it around and put the cameras on the people and made it a show. So now when you arrive at the Top Business Awards, it's to less people, but everything is filmed. So we use technology because of the lack of being able to do what we could do in the past, to improve our eventing to such a degree that it is like it boomed. So yeah, that's where it goes. Interesting question. How do you keep your team motivated? Our team is motivated by what we do. It's the sharing of good news that we do. So it's almost like one of those incredible jobs. I think everybody would love to do what we do, because we help people. And when somebody phones up and says, Grant, this happened because of what we did, and then I send that to everybody and says, and just share the success of somebody else with what we've done, motivates us all, because we just love helping people. And it's when you give and you get back, it's just an incredible thing. So the motivation for what we do is just what we do. So it's the easiest thing in the world to keep all of our team motivated, just by sharing the good news of what we do. And we do it very well. Inspiration itself, I think, comes from within. You know, I've always been a self-motivated person. So I can't actually pinpoint anything that I've done in my life that I can say to anybody. My early life and in my early career was always done. I think my dad was my biggest motivator, because you know, he always saw the potential in what I had in creating. I think it goes back to that artist thing that I started with, is that seeing the bigger picture. So I've always seen the bigger picture and motivated through what I see. I always see vision. When there's a problem, I have a solution. Where there's solutions, that's where I am. So I've always been very, very self-motivated. And when I sit and I listen to everybody that we interview and everybody that we've been involved with in business, I'm motivated. So success in itself motivates me. So that's why I've got the best job in the world, is because I just listen to successful people day in and day out. And it's an incredible job that we've got. My vision for KZN Top Business, my vision for KZN for the next 5 years is very simple. Currently, we're doing the KZN Top Business Leaders publication, where we are as South Africa at the moment. We've just had an election. Nobody can work out how the results of the election came out like it did, but it did. So that ray of light that we have, that silver lining that is out there, we all need to grab onto that. So I've done 100 interviews now, and every single person I've spoken to says, grab the opportunity and take it. So that's what we've got to do, is that things are happening in the province, and all we've got to do is keep doing what we're doing, right? And together with government and ourselves, we've got places to go. You know, so don't let it die, keep it going. So that's my vision, is to make sure that that little glow becomes a flame and we just grow with it. The motto that I live by, and we as a business live by, is success breeds success. It's as simple as that.